Hi, welcome to the YouTube channel. This is my first video and I'm a bit nervous, but so to kind of have an icebreaker and let you know a little bit about myself, my name is James Ernest and I'm one of 10 kids, so there's never really been a dull moment in our household. And that's kind of what our country feels like nowadays, with the election just wrapping up, the new Republican being elected president, and I wanted to make this video to let you know about the Democrats and the Republicans' immigration policies. Because if you're a young voter, just voted for the first time this past year, and you're a little bit confused about what the implications of Trump being in office is, or what the Republicans' immigration policies are, and if you want to vote again next term, whenever another Democratic candidate is up for election, then you can take this information on what Democrats think of immigration policy and put it into the blender of all of the ideas that will culminate in you finding a candidate to vote for next year. So, to begin, I wanted to propose to you a question that I based this whole presentation off of, this whole video, whatever you want to call it. What is the difference between the Democrats' immigration policies and the Republicans' immigration policies? Very straightforward question. Should be pretty easy to answer. And so this video is going to go like this. Going to go through the history of immigration policy, the current candidates' thoughts on immigration policy, then the people's thoughts on immigration policy for both Democrats and Republicans. So what I really want to stress during this video is that I will try and keep it as impartial as possible until one point where I will interject my thoughts on immigration policy, and that will be a very short segment, so don't worry about that. And please don't kill me in the comment section, literally begging you, please. And then, so let's go ahead and just jump into the history. So I'm not going to go too far back, because that would make it a much longer video than this needs to be. So I'm just going to go back one decade instead of like 7. To Obama's administration in 2010, whenever he'd just gone into office. He took over for President Bush. Now, President Bush was a Republican president who, to deal with the border, he made a border fence which is 700 miles long fence. But it was designed to inhibit the entry of illegal immigrants and terrorists through the U.S.-Mexico border. That quote should be right there, if it's done correctly. And then this fence was left over from the Bush administration when the Republicans had thought of this as the best way to protect us from illegal immigrants and terrorists. Obama, he had a very different approach. He passed an act that would take executive action to protect millions of undocumented immigrants from deportation. And that is really the main focus that I wanted to focus on from this history is Republicans, keep them out, build a fence, let's build a wall. And Democrats, we can spare some more people in our country. Let's protect the illegals. But the difference is very easy to see. Protect illegals, build a big wall. Now, for the current Democrats' immigration policy, I wanted to look at the most recent candidate in the election, Kamala Harris. Now, her picture should be displaying on screen now if everything was done correctly. And her thoughts on immigration policy was that she wanted to strike a balance between enforcement and upholding the nation's history of welcoming immigrants, not unlike Obama for protecting them. And if you're a Democrat, that's really the main focus of candidates, on protecting the rights of immigrants, illegal or not, and not really enforcing that much of a border security law. Whereas nowadays, with our new president, Donald Trump, he, during his campaign, had pledged to deport unauthorized foreigners. This attitude towards immigrants is very reflective of the thoughts of many politicians who agree with him. J.D. Vance, Vivek Ramaswamy, others like that. Although J.D. Vance is his vice president, so he really should agree with his president. But he, his thoughts on immigration was very build a wall, protect us from illegals, and the person that he employed to basically the czar of the border was to keep out immigrants no matter what, separating families, enforcing that law no matter what. And the person that he chose to protect this border, very, very strict. And that's a big reflection of the extreme side of the Republicans who really want to protect this border no matter the cost, even if that includes separating children from their mothers and fathers. And as a member of the Republican Party, I really want to stress that this video has been pretty impartial, I think, up to this point, with having many articles based on this. With I chose 6 scholarly articles from Google Scholar, from my college, Daytona State, and culminated in this video. So using those resources, I tried to create this amalgamation of a video that's impartial up to this point, where I want to say my thoughts. I am a Republican. I do believe in keeping the border safe and deporting illegals within certain bounds. Do not separate families. That's wrong. That should not even, I don't even know why that's even considered separating families. Keeps families together. If you're going to deport them together, but only at the extreme. Run a background check on them. If they're a threat, then you really should just keep your family safe. Make good decisions. We shouldn't separate families no matter what, but there is a point where more harsh action does need to be taken, but not to the extreme. This does not need to be an excuse for us to enjoy being cruel and excessive, and we should not be cruel to immigrants, even if they are illegal. We do need to show some love to them. And this thought process is communicated through the people who think that in an article titled Republicans and Democrats in Different Worlds on Immigration, this article was based on very, very many polls, and the authors really took all these polls, got all that information, put it into this one article. So this is I should have a quote on screen now from this article, hopefully. And they used a lot of statistics, which I do like. I think that using statistics and taking polls is a very good way of gathering up information. And in conclusion, I was able to find an article that talked about a very, very good summary of what the difference between Republicans and Democrats' priorities on U.S. immigration policy is. Republicans place particular importance on border security, deportations, and getting those people out of the country who came in illegally. While Democrats place a much greater importance on paths to legal status for those who entered the country illegally. And I'll leave you with that today. And that's all today. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. And as always, take care.